In the dim light of Rosewood's ever-watchful night, Season 7, Episode 10 of Pretty Little Liars unfolds like a storm that's been building for years, quiet at first, but with thunder hiding just beneath the surface. This episode, the summer finale titled, The Darkest Night, brings a turning point not only for the mystery that's been haunting the Liars but also for one of the most beloved couples in the series, Haleb, Hannah Marin and Caleb Rivers. Their story, woven with heartbreak, misunderstandings, and undeniable chemistry, takes center stage in a way that reminds fans why this pairing became one of the emotional anchors of the show. The scene opens with tension so thick you can almost feel it pressing down on Hannah. She's been carrying secrets, guilt, and a sense of danger that's been shadowing her since the beginning of the season. Caleb, on the other hand, has always been her protector, the one who sees through her bravado and reaches the fragile heart she tries so hard to hide. When they finally come face to face, it's not just a conversation, it's years of pain, longing, and unfinished love crashing together like waves on a rocky shore. As the camera lingers on their faces, you can see the exhaustion in Hannah's eyes. She's been strong for so long, fighting battles that seem never-ending. Caleb, standing just inches away, looks at her the way someone does when they've realized that losing her once was one of the biggest mistakes of their life. Their chemistry isn't something that needs words, it's in the pauses, in the way his hand trembles slightly when he reaches for her, in the way she exhales when he finally does. The dialogue is brief, but it carries the weight of every fight and every tender moment they've shared. Hannah tries to push him away again, not because she doesn't love him, but because she's terrified that this dangerous game with AD could destroy him, too. But Caleb, being Caleb, doesn't flinch. He steps closer, steady and sure, his voice low and determined. He tells her he's not going anywhere. And in that instant, the wall between them begins to crack. It's not just romance, it's survival. Their love story has always existed on the edge of chaos, where every embrace could be their last. The world around them is collapsing under lies, blackmail, and threats that seem to come from every shadow. Yet here they are, clinging to the only thing that still feels real, each other. The show doesn't need to remind the audience of their history, every look does it for them. You can almost hear echoes of past seasons, their first kiss, their breakups, their reunions, all leading to this moment of quiet intensity. As the scene unfolds, the atmosphere grows heavier. The lighting shifts, the colors deepen, it's as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. Hannah's resolve wavers. She looks at Caleb with a mix of frustration and yearning. She tells him he doesn't understand, that she's in too deep, that everything she's done has been to protect the people she loves. Caleb listens, his expression unreadable, and then, with that calm steadiness that defines him, he says he doesn't care about the danger, he only cares about her. That's when the emotional dam breaks. Hannah's voice falters, her tears finally spilling over. It's not just fear, it's relief. Relief that someone still sees her, still believes in her even when she's drowning in guilt. Caleb reaches out, gently brushing a tear from her cheek, and it's such a small gesture, but it carries years of meaning. For fans who've followed them since season 1, it's almost impossible not to feel the ache of nostalgia and the hope that maybe, just maybe, love can survive the darkness of Rosewood. The music swells softly, an instrumental theme that mirrors their unspoken emotions. Caleb takes her hand, and for a few seconds, the world outside their little bubble disappears. It's just them, no AD, no secrets, no lies. In that fragile stillness, Hannah leans in, and their lips meet in a kiss that feels both inevitable and healing. It's not rushed, not desperate, it's quiet, tender, and full of all the things they never said out loud. The kiss feels like a homecoming, a reunion of two souls who've been lost but finally found their way back. The scene could have ended there, but it doesn't. The writers know what they're doing, they let the moment linger, giving viewers time to absorb it, to remember why Haleb has always stood out. After the kiss, Hannah pulls back slightly, looking into Caleb's eyes. There's a flicker of something, a mix of love, fear, and determination. She tells him they can't go back to pretending everything is normal. Caleb nods, but his gaze doesn't waver. Then we'll face it together, he says, and it's the kind of line that sticks with you long after the credits roll. The emotional weight of this scene doesn't just come from the words, it comes from everything that's unsaid. From the history that built them, from the sacrifices they've made, from the danger they continue to face. In many ways, this episode marks a rebirth for both characters. Hannah, who's always been torn between independence and vulnerability, finally lets someone in again. Caleb, who's spent so long trying to fix everything and everyone, learns that sometimes, just being there is enough. But the brilliance of Pretty Little Liars lies in its balance. Just when it gives you a moment of peace, it pulls you right back into chaos. The Haleb reunion isn't just romantic, it's a setup for heartbreak and danger. Even as they hold each other, you can sense the shadow of AD looming nearby, the threat that love in Rosewood is never without consequences. And that's what keeps viewers hooked, the tension between hope and fear, love and loss, light and darkness. Later in the episode, the aftermath of this reunion ripples through the group. Hannah's choices start to collide with the secrets the liars are still hiding. Caleb's protective instincts kick into overdrive, creating friction with the others who fear his loyalty might cloud his judgment. Every scene builds on the last, with emotional stakes rising as the finale barrels toward its shocking end. Yet through it all, that kiss, that single, intimate moment, lingers like a promise that not everything in Rosewood has to end in tragedy. The pacing of the episode is masterful. It oscillates between suspense and tenderness, keeping the audience on edge but emotionally invested. When Haleb shares that quiet scene, it's a reminder of why the show's relationships matter as much as its mysteries. The audience isn't just watching a love story, they're watching survival in the midst of chaos, faith in the midst of betrayal. As the episode reaches its climax, everything begins to spiral. The liars are drawn into yet another deadly confrontation, and the tone shifts from romance to raw terror. But the memory of that Haleb moment remains, a light flickering in the darkness. It's what makes this episode so powerful. It doesn't just shock you, it makes you feel. It gives you something to hold onto even as the ground falls away. By the end, when the screen fades to black and the credits roll, you're left with that bittersweet ache, the kind that only Pretty Little Liars can deliver. The Haleb scene is more than fan service, it's emotional storytelling at its best. It shows that even in a town full of secrets and lies, love, messy, complicated, painful love, still has the power to cut through the noise. The brilliance of that summer finale isn't just in the twists or the cliffhangers. It's in the quiet moments like this one, where the show reminds you why you care. Hannah and Caleb aren't just characters, they're symbols of resilience, of the idea that no matter how dark things get, connection can still survive. Their reunion isn't a conclusion, it's a heartbeat in the middle of chaos, a reminder that love can be both a weapon and a shield. And that's why the scene works. It's emotional without being melodramatic, heartfelt without being cliché. It's two people who have been through hell finally finding a moment of peace, however fleeting. And in a show built on secrets, that kind of honesty feels like the rarest truth of all.